welcome to the Horror Show. I'm Andrew Mercer, and we are hanging out today at the Game On Expo 2017 here in Arizona. Lovely, sunny, hot Arizona.
Lovely, dry, hot desert land, wastelands.
Wasteland is probably the best way to put it. And we're here with Josh Petersdorf, who you may know as Road Hog, one of the best characters in Overwatch.
That's right. I liked you.
I have a friend now. I have a friend. So I guess we'll start there. Overwatch. I'm a big fan. I didn't think the community was as big as it was. As soon as I walked through the doors, it's evident.
It's evident. The community has been incredible. I think everyone who's ever touched this game, from the developers to the fans to the actors involved, we can all agree there's something special here. And I think that Blizzard is the greatest company to cultivate an environment with a loving fandom, like they've done for years with Diablo franchise and their Warcraft franchise, and now with Overwatch. The fans have been amazing.
I watch a lot of Twitch. I watch a lot of people that play the game, and the in-game chat, just again, Blizzard reaching out, giving us new content, bonus content. It's so much fun, and the game's been out for over a year. I mean, are you guys still doing press tours, all that kind of stuff?
Just started really doing the big conventions and going out this year and booking all over the globe, really. Some of us are going to Puerto Rico, some of us are going to the UK, we're going to Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, they're going all over the place. It truly is a worldwide phenomenon. And I think I knew it was, like, for me personally, I have a cool story. Like, one of the biggest moments of mine is I went to see Star Wars: The Force Awakens. And as we're waiting, me and my girl, I've been up like 20 hours working. It was 12 o'clock midnight show, and I'm drinking a Red Bull, like shaking in the theater. You know how it is. Dedication, yes. And they played an Overwatch commercial. Look, my hand's shaking. It's giving me goosebumps. They played an Overwatch commercial before Star Wars, and that meant the world to me, man. Because then it was like, holy crap, this thing is not only being advertised before my favorite franchise, something I've been watching as a kid. Like, we're in the theater, man. Like, there's Road Hog. He's on the screen, and we're gonna watch Star. And I knew something special was then.
What's it like when people show up and they expect to see Road Hog, and they find out there's a voice behind Road Hog, and it's a character almost?
I grow this beard because I'm horribly insecure. I don't want anyone to see my butt chin. And, there's a few photographs on the internet that I've burned and hunted down the ISPs. I think it's really cool. A lot of people are like, whoa, I thought you would be bigger physically. And I'm a tall dude, I'm like 200 pounds, 6'2", but they're like, I thought you'd be like this massive guy because this big voice comes out of that.
As soon as you shut your eyes, it goes back to, oh man, this is an intimidating force.
Thank you very much. And so I guess I'm flattered by the fans who come up like, wow, I didn't think that power could come out of your frame. I'm like, well, thanks.
Now, is Road Hog something that Blizzard came to you completely, or were you able to put a little bit of yourself, your personality into the character?
Here's a cool story. So they released, I think it was the Christmas comic that identified Tracer's girlfriend, right back. And so there was only one panel in that, but in that panel, that came out about 2 months after we did the whole BlizzCon thing this year, right? And we did the campus thing, and that video blew up. Well, this is just me. This hasn't been confirmed. But in that comic, I work at Universal Studios Hollywood. Okay, and I work as Optimus Prime and Megatron, the voice actor in the meet and greet experience with them, and I do a bunch of other stuff in the park too. In that comic, there is suddenly just one panel of Road Hog and Junkrat riding out of the same arches that says Buena Park, that is very similar to Universal Studios Hollywood. So me personally, I have taken that personally as a sign that they are copying my life.
They're mimicking your every move
vicariously through me.
Yes.
But other than that, when we first got the audition for Road Hog, there was a picture of the Butcher. It wasn't even, they didn't have concept art or really anything for him. And I remember even in the auditioning, or excuse me, rather the session when we were recording, when they were describing like his ultimate, they were like, hey, he's like stuffing all this flak metal in his cannon, and he wants to be like, yeah, Scone Hog Wild, ready to go whole hog, so that's where that came from, obviously. But I'd say a lot of it was the wonderful work by Andrea Toyes and Michael Chu, who are phenomenal to work with. And when you have those two people working with you, it's pretty easy.
Everybody has their favorite Road Hog line. One Man Apocalypse is my personal, because anytime I'm mad, I just go to that, and I start screaming, oh, One Man Apocalypse, alone with my cat in my one-bedroom apartment. But do you have any personal favorites? Is there any that you really like to just belt out?
Push off. No, I like that.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I love violence is usually the answer. That's another one I really like too. And if you look at my 4 lines right now, I have say bacon one more time, push off, the new one, there's no I in team. Brilliant, Road Hog, really. And and like the want some candy.
Want some candy, I like it. Our YouTube channel is very horror themed. We do a lot of trailer reactions and stuff to horror movies. It's kind of what we're based around. So you do like horror?
I love horror. Me and my girl love horror. We're a huge Rob Zombie fan. We love Devil's Rejects, love 31 that just came out, House of a Thousand Corpses, all that stuff. What was it? Witches of Salem, even the real trippy one. We love that. And then I like old school stuff like Phantasm. I like the gore. I like Army of Darkness, stuff like that. And then for modern day horror, I'm enjoying The Conjuring. I like stuff like that. I like the Annabelle. We saw Annabelle. I like the Annabelle and stuff like that.
A lot of steam on the Annabelle stuff right now. A lot of people are
steam. I like real gore. So I don't like special effects. Like when the new Thing, for example, I didn't like it as much as the old one because it was like, you did some CG. I want to see you bust the skull, like I want to see.
I think everybody can agree that the mix of practical and CGI, you have to find that fine line, but anything you can do with practical is going to look better than if you did it.
I agree. Would you agree, too, that nowadays practical effects are more gut-wrenching than CG? Because CG is like the blood's too perfect.
Well, and everybody says, CG makes it look perfect, but you don't want perfect. A car wreck is not perfect. So it's one of those things where the imperfections that gives it its identity. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people want perfect.
Park, right? Jurassic Park had to be kind of like the pinnacle, I feel like, of special effects melding with practical effects because they did it so seamlessly in that. And I watched an interesting behind-the-scenes feature in like Jurassic Park 3, and they were saying, we want you to not be able to tell when it's a practical effect and a CG. And I'm like, well, the opposite ends up happening. You end up thinking everything is CG, and you wonder what's practical. So.
That is an interesting take on it. It's one of those things where some people, they want something, but the studios want to push it in a different way. So the middle ground is always the best ground. Do you have a favorite horror villain? Is there a horror icon that you cling to?
I'm a Pennywise and a Freddy fan. Definitely love me some Freddy. Come on, he's just such a prick. Such a dead prick. And so I love me some Freddy and some Pennywise. I'm really excited for it. The new looks really good.
Yeah, we've done a lot of reviews and stuff on the channel. A lot of the fan base is ready for it. A lot of the skeptics were kind of picking at it a little bit, and then I think the second release of the trailer gave you a look at.
I just remember it being that 4-hour, like those giant VHS tapes, and it was like the stand, and it was made for TV, back when made for TV sucked. Like there was such a thing. Now one's like made for Netflix, it's great. No, made for TV used to be really bad, like really bad. And they made the stand and they made it, and it was really good. I just remember the scene of the inhaler and all that weird, like as a kid, you remember that. But even when they released it, on video, it was still like PG-13. It wasn't ever like the full hardcore cut.
Yeah, I feel like the way that you talk about old horror movies is the way that you talk about the NBA in the 90s. Yes. It was just a different game. It was very vicious, and with horror, they did things, by the book. They really did it. They wanted you to be scared. And when you don't have the digital, scapegoat of just being able to do it digitally, you got to find a way to make somebody's head explode. And
that's a great point, yeah. Body snatcher style,
Do you like Arizona?
Coming from Los Angeles, it's not too bad heat-wise. It's been really hot over in LA recently. It's been like 92, dry, with a little bit of humidity. So I don't mind it. I thought it's been great. I think I've had the people of Arizona have been nice. My friends like Jacob over here, we got this cool dude, have been really cool, and I met some really amazing people. So the dryness, okay, a little dry.
But the people will make you come back. The people are making you come back.
People are great, man. Yeah.
Makes me feel warm inside. So if anybody's trying to get in contact with you, social media, website, anything like that, how can they get a hold of you?
You can find me on Twitter at CrankyJ, Instagram at MenaceMade, SoundCloud at TFW Podcast, stands for Two Fucking Weirdos Podcast. And if you just Google my name, I'm pretty easy to find, joshpetersdorf.com.
I wish I could say that. If you Google my name, about 30 other people are going to come up before me. So
I'm lucky when I have the word Petersdorf, and there's not a lot of Petersdorfs in the world.
Very true, very true. All right, so that's going to wrap it up here at Game On Expo 2017 with Josh Petersdorf. Keep tuning in. We got a lot more interviews with tons more celebrities and stuff like that. But remember, stay scared.